All right, you are good to go.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Electric Vehicle Charging Stations Infrastructure Commission. To begin today, I need to read the right to know notice. Today we'll be conducting various business of the commission, and we need to be in compliance with the right to know law. As chair of the commission, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with the governor's emergency order number 12, pursuant to executive order 2024-04 and its extensions, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting, which is authorized pursuant to the governor's emergency order. In accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone, with additional access possible by video and other electronic means. We are utilizing software for this electronic meeting. All members of the committee and selected legislative staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously in this meeting through this platform. And the public has access to contemporaneously watch or listen to the meeting on Facebook Live and via phone by the following directions and links provided in the general court website. We have provided the public notice, the necessary information for accessing the meeting in the Senate calendar. We are providing a mechanism for the public to alert the body during the meeting if there are problems with access. If anyone has a problem with access, they can call 603-271-3043. That is 603-271-3043. Or they can email remote senate at leg.state.nh.us. That is, again, remote senate at leg.state.nh.us. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting, it will be adjourned and rescheduled. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Finally, we will start the meeting by taking a roll call of those in attendance. When each member states their presence, please state where you are and also if there's anyone else in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under our right to know law. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks to the Senate staff, in particular to Becky Oler of DES for helping with all these details and putting our meeting together today. And I'll turn it over to Becky to take the roll.
Thank you, Senator Waters. Matt Mayu, Office of Strategic Initiatives.
I am here. I am alone, home today. I can see the proceedings and I can hear everyone.
Thank you. Richard Bailey, Department of Safety.
I'm here and I'm in my office at Harbor Safety Headquarters.
Thank you. Kevin Bogan, Eversource.
I'm here alone in my home.
Thank you. Peter King, Business and Industry Association.
Sorry, I'm here and I'm alone and now I'm unmuted. Thanks.
I knew I could see you. Thank you. Representative George Sykes.
Yes, I'm here and I'm out alone in the house.
Thank you. Gary LeMay, Drive Electric New Hampshire, also with New Hampshire Electric Co-op.
Yes, I'm in my home in Meredith, New Hampshire, and I am alone in a room in my house.
Thank you. Kevin Miller, representing manufacturers industry with ChargePoint.
Hi, I'm here at home and I'm alone for now, though my son may make a cameo.
We've seen that before. Dave Rodrigue, New Hampshire DOT.
Good morning. I'm here. I'm at my office in Concord, New Hampshire.
Thank you. I'm Rebecca Oler, Department of Environmental Services, and I am at home in Dover, and I am alone in the room. Dan Bennett, New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm at my home office in Bow. I can't promise that two 12-year-old boys will leave me uninterrupted for the next 2 hours. So but I'm alone for now.
Senator David Waters, Chair.
Hi, I'm Senator David Waters. I'm at home. I'm alone in my room in Dover.
Representative Stephen Smith. Don't believe I've seen him.
I saw an email from him that he wouldn't be able to make it.
Okay, thank you, Representative Sykes. And last but not least, Carlton Simpson with Unitil.
Hello, I am here. I can hear everyone, and I am alone in Hampton, New Hampshire.
Thank you. With that, Senator, I'll turn it back over to you to start the agenda. I will note that we were informed that, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my notes here, that Peter Clark with Senator Shaheen's office has to leave by noon. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that.
Thank you. Thank you, Commission members, for being here today. I think it's taken us a while to be able to access for commissions that we can access the platform to have this kind of meeting. But our timing actually is very good for us because there are several things that can be reported on because of actions at the federal level, potential actions, and also some reports to in the state. You will note that with your agenda, I sent you some information, some various reports, trying to keep everybody apprised of what is happening in the state around us and initiatives that are being taken. These are things that we are not going to be taking up today, but I think that will shape our recommendations as we move forward into the fall, and particularly after the election season for any legislation that might be proposed by members of the commission or other people in the legislature. I thought that given the circumstances that we wouldn't go around for introduction at this time of members and public attendees, but there will be an opportunity for public attendees to ask questions and to make comments, and at that time they can of course introduce themselves. And Becky, I was not sure what the status was of minutes from March 6th.
They should have been sent around. I sent them to Jennifer, and I believe that they were sent around with the materials that were sent. Did everyone get the copy of the minutes?
Yes, that's what I wanted to be sure that everybody had them, and I will make a motion to approve the minutes from the March 6th meeting, if there would be a second. I bet Representative Sykes would like to second that motion.
Sure, for the sake of discussion, why not? I'll second the motion.
Thank you. Are there any corrections or additions to the minute? Well then, Becky, we do need to have a roll call vote on the minutes. So if you could please read the roll, and we will please record your vote.
Okay. Matt Mayu,
Yes.
Richard Bailey,
Yes.
Kevin Bogan,
Yes.
Peter King,
Yes.
George Sykes,
Yes.
Gary LeMay, Gary LeMay, Gary, we can't hear you. You're on mute. Still can't hear you. You can give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down because we can't hear you, but I can see you. Let me circle back to you.
No, yes, I was
There you are.
lost in Zoom land somewhere.
Thank you.
I have too many screens open, sorry.
Got it. Kevin Miller,
Yes.
Dave Rodrigue.
Yes.
For myself, I would say yes. Dan Bennett,
Yes.
Senator Waters,
Yes.
and Carlton Simpson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, commission members. And I thought it'd be very helpful to shape our conversations to have an update on what's happening with potential federal legislation relative to electric vehicles. And I'm sure that you've seen there's just an awful lot going on in both bodies of the legislature relating to proposals related to COVID relief, to infrastructure packages, and potentially the FAST Act, which has to be reauthorized. And I know that our federal delegation has been really very active in these conversations, particularly with Congressman Pappas, because he does serve on the House Transportation Committee and on the subcommittee that is related to a lot of these matters. And it really, we'll see what happens in Washington, and it really has the potential to help our work quite a bit in the state. And so I wanted to first welcome Carrie Thurman, District Director, and Oliver Edelson, a legislative aide for Congress Pappas. And thank you both so much for having the time to join us today, and I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Senator. We really appreciate the time, and happy to be addressing the commission and giving just a quick update on some of the work that's going on in the House. HR 2 is the legislation that has a lot of really good things for electric charging vehicles. And so I'm gonna turn it over to Oliver, who works on this for our team out of DC.
Great. Well, thanks, Carrie, and thanks everyone for having us today. As you all know, the House recently passed HR 2, which is the Moving Forward Act. And this sort of package, the FAST Act, along with a lot of other pretty transformative provisions. And as the Congressman says, it's about more than just investing in infrastructure. It's about investing in infrastructure that is smarter, safer, and made to last. And that includes electric vehicle charging infrastructure, certainly. The Moving Forward Act wants to make sure the electric grid can handle more electric vehicles and also promote manufacturing of electric vehicles and the development of charging stations to handle that increased demand. So I'm just going to run quickly through a number of the main provisions sort of in two buckets. The first is on the manufacturing of electric vehicles. It increases the cap on federal EV tax credits to $600,000 for manufacturers. As we've seen, a lot of manufacturers are currently reaching that $200,000 cap. And so this helps both manufacturers of electric vehicles and also folks who are interested in purchasing them. It also would establish a new tax credit for used electric vehicles to enhance the life cycle and make a greater, more robust market for used electric vehicles. And then third, it also has a lot of incentives for the federal government to purchase electric vehicles, electric buses for schools, and most notably, and that's been in the news, for the Postal Service to increase their purchase of electric fleet. And then the second bucket is in terms of expanding the EV charging infrastructure. Notably, it's sort of connected to the Postal Service. One provision that we're excited about is that it requires the installation of EV charging stations at every post office by 2026. And so this is both for the infrastructure that the Postal Service requires, but also there's a provision that says that these should be available to the public as well. In addition, and importantly, it increases the number of designated corridors and funding to install the charging infrastructure. So increasing the ability for people to travel great distances. It also opens up a lot of ability for the installation of charging infrastructure on interstate highways at rest areas and park and rides, which has been a big issue. And then in terms of updating building codes, it provides technical assistance so that building codes can properly reflect when folks install charging infrastructure into multifamily buildings and businesses as well. And then it provides $1.4 billion in grants for this charging and fueling infrastructure based on publicly available charging stations at apartment complexes, at businesses, and also funded by the state as well. And it also establishes an electric vehicle supply equipment rebate program so that if a business wants to install a charging station, that the federal government will provide them a rebate that's up to 75% of that installation cost for that charging station. And that's also a really exciting provision. So that's the sort of the quick rundown. I don't want to take up too much time, but I think the biggest part is this bill has passed the House, and we think it provides a really exciting opportunity, and we'll continue pushing for the expansion of EV charging infrastructure, which is sort of the keystone for opening up a really transformative transportation system. So thanks so much for having us, and thanks for all your hard work. And our office continues to want to be a partner for all of you as you work on the state level on these issues.
Thank you so much, Oliver, and much appreciation to the congressman. As I've talked to him several times about this, and the Moving Forward Act, and with the FAST Act embedded, does move us forward. And I would just note too that I think that the inclusion in the Moving Forward Act of a lot of funding for broadband, in a sense, helps us as well, because it enhances the networks available to people in New Hampshire. Because that has something to do with what the charging stations can do as well. Well, I have plenty of questions, but I'd rather turn to the panel first, and to the commission first. And commission members, I know it can be kind of awkward whether you try to raise your hand or just unmute yourself. So given that we're such a bunch that's so used to each other, if you want to ask Oliver a question, perhaps you could just unmute yourself and go ahead. And if I'm sure if you hear somebody else, you'll defer to them. But why don't we just do that? And whoever has a question, please ask.
Hey, Oliver, this is Gary LeMay.
Oh.
I'm sorry. And my only question, so it's passed the House, but obviously has to go to the Senate, and maybe you can elaborate on what that time frame looks like and what the chances of success seem to be.
Yeah, no, that's the question of the hour, Gary. So thanks for asking. In terms of the path forward, obviously we need FAST Act. The FAST Act expires soon, and so there certainly will be action on the highway reauthorization portion, hopefully soon. And for the House, it was really important for us to put out this bill and this set of actionable priorities that we think has a path forward and really helps us in terms of negotiations with the Senate and with the administration. I've learned never to guess on the timeline or path forward, but I can assure you that this is the top priority for House Democrats, and especially those of us on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. So, we need to push this forward, but I'm not going to risk taking a guess on the exact timing.
And commission members, please identify yourselves for Oliver's benefit, and